Good morning. My name is Rohan and today I'm presenting my AP research topic, which is the ethics and future usage of artificial intelligence in music. So to start off, I'll be going over the recent history of technology in music. So to start off, we have digital audio, which was introduced in the late 1900s as a replacement to analog audio and allowed for producers to edit the audio they recorded and even manipulate it however they would like. Next, we have autotune, which was introduced in the late 1990s by Cher's song "Believe," and it quickly picked up, becoming popularized in rap, pop, hip hop, and electronic music, and it offers a quick and easy solution to correcting notes, pitch, and tones within vocals and instruments. Lastly, we have the most recent and most relevant change in music, which is AI music, which introduces AI algorithms and machine learning that use songs as data samples to create entirely new songs and vocals, and even a combination of the both as quickly as a snap of a finger. So this rise in AI music first popularized due to ChatGPT, and companies saw the big success of ChatGPT and decided to take a similar approach and decided to take music and combine the two to create websites that are able to create songs as quickly as the user wants, using websites such as Suno, where the user can just enter a prompt and a song is outputted. So if you look at this Google Trends search graph, as you can see, very recently we see a rise in the Google search of AI music, and particularly this has started to rise in 2023 till now, and right now it's at an all-time high. And this particular peak, the second peak over here, happened in mid-April of last year, and this mainly happened due to Ghostwriter's most popular song, which exploded over social media, called "Heart in My Sleeve," which is an original song that uses the vocals of Drake and The Weeknd. And as you can see, this song has nearly 5 million views. And another example, not made by Ghostwriter but someone else, was a cover of Gangsta's Paradise using Frank Sinatra's voice, and this had gained nearly 3 million views in 2 months. So this signifies how these songs can explode over social media and sometimes become more popular than original works that are entirely made by producers in the field. And because of this, artists are not very happy. Their voices are being used in these songs and they're not being compensated or credited at all. So for example, one particular AI song that was released was a cover of Ice Spice's Munch, and in that Drake's voice was used, and he said that in an Instagram story, this is the final straw AI. And he's a very big artist with nearly 80 million monthly listeners on Spotify, and based off of that, we can see that these big artists are being affected by it. So you can just imagine how it's shaking up the entire industry. So this led me to my inquiry, which was, how is AI going to affect the music industry? So to tackle this question, I decided to break down my methodology into two specific lenses. First off, I focused on the technological aspect, and the second I talked about people's reactions. So to start with the technological aspect, I decided to do a literature review where I decided to read a lot of papers and try to understand which AI algorithms are thriving in the field right now, and try to understand which AI algorithms will be used more in the future, so I can try to figure out what type of AI music will prosper. So as a result, I came up with this table where I have 4 different papers on the left column, and on the right column I have the different algorithms that they are proposing, and they the authors really like. So you can see a variety from neural networks, from deep learning, genetic evolutionary, rule-based, case-based, and a different variety of AI algorithms. So after reading all these 4 papers, I realized that there's no single one AI algorithm that will prosper, rather that each different algorithm succeeds at different things. So for example, we have the rule-based systems, which are best at music theory representation, case-based reasoning, which are best at case-by-case musical experiences, Markov chains, which are best at predicting the next musical notes given the previous ones, generative grammars, which are fastest at generating music, linear programming, which are best for timbre synthesis, which is basically when you have 2 instruments or voices at the same note or like tone, and that the new sound that they create by synthesizing together. Linear programming is the best at that. And out of the 4 papers, the most common out of all of them was the genetic evolutionary algorithms and neural networks and deep learning. And in that, those are the best at the quality of music produced, and it can be applied to various styles of music. So for my next lens, I'll be talking about people's reactions. So as we saw, that AI music is shaking up the entire industry, and there's a large debate on what AI should be allowed to do and what should be publicly out there to the people. So to handle this, I broke this down into 3 particular perspectives. First, I'm looking at the artists, which contain the producers and the singers. Then I'm looking at the consumers, and lastly, the lawyers. So for the artists and consumers, I created a Google Form survey, slightly different, but majority of the questions are the same. And to get the artists to fill it out, I sent the survey on different Discord servers and Reddit communities, so I can gain sort of a third-party view to this. And for consumers, I emailed teachers where they can within MBTHS and had them send out my survey so students and teachers can fill out, so as they represent the general consumers in our population. And lastly, for lawyers, I'll be conducting a literature review and go through interviews and papers written by them, and so I can understand what the legal aspect of AI music is. So in my Google Form survey, I asked all the following questions, with the majority of them being in the questionnaire section, where I basically just tried to get an understanding of what their thoughts on AI music is, what type of music they listen to, and try to see if there's any correlation between the two, and even try to understand what they would consider to be ethic or not. And in the second portion of my survey, I would have a quiz where I would ask the last 2 questions. Does this song contain AI-generated vocals, and why do you think so? So I would provide 4 different audio samples, and I would ask these 2 questions if they think the audio sample contains AI music or not, and why they think so. And in that time, I provided the 4 samples were related to Whitney Houston, which was AI, Michael Jackson, which was non-AI, Post Malone, which was AI, and Taylor Swift, which was non-AI. So through these questions, I was able to come across these following significant findings. So from the artist survey relating to ethics, I found that they preferred that AI be only used in original works, and that there should be a disclaimer in songs saying that AI has been used in that song. While consumers were a bit more laid back on how AI can be used, they were saying it's okay to use it for remixes, covers, and original works. And they also agreed that there should be disclaimers saying AI has been used in the song. Interestingly, consumers were the ones that mentioned that there should be no monetization for AI if another person's vocals have been used and they haven't been compensated. Now, from the quiz portion, artists had a 63% accuracy when it came to correctly determining if a song had AI or not in it, and I have a 95% confidence that the true proportion that an artist is able to determine if a song has AI or not lies between 32% and 93%. And for consumers, they had a 54% accuracy, and I'm 95% confident that the true proportion that they are able to correctly guess if a song contains AI or not is between 42% and 66%. And for some general trends I found, it was interesting to see that people who listen to music actually have a lower accuracy than those who don't listen to music as much, at 55% versus 58%. And Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson, representing the African American community, their songs had an accuracy of 49% for artists and consumers, and for Post Malone and Taylor Swift, representing the white community, they had an accuracy of 61%. And for females, they had an accuracy of 41%, and males had a big difference at 69%. So there seems to be people are better able to tell if a song contains AI or not based on if the person is male and if they are white. So lastly, I have my conclusion. Sorry, not my conclusion. I have my lawyer's perspective, which is a literature review in which I looked at two papers. One which was a survey, and another one which was written by lawyers. So in the first one by Chris Maiman, who was a lawyer, he said that it should be evident that the song contains. It should be evident that this actual song was not sung by the actual singer, and that and the song contains AI, and the AI-based model should be trained on legally accessed music, so there shouldn't be any illegal pirating of songs to train the AI. And he also said that this is currently a legal gray zone that still needs to be talked about among the legal community. And in the next paper, they said that many questions relating to AI have not been answered yet, and it's so important to consider them, especially in the case of music. And now for my conclusion. So I determined that there's no best AI algorithm for music generation, rather that there are different algorithms that fit different needs, and artists and consumers have difficult time determining if a song contains AI, as they both nearly have a 50% accuracy. Also, that there is a lot of gray area in the law, but as long as the credit is provided to the singer and the AI model is trained on legally gained music, then it should be legal, and this is all based on US law. And lastly, there is a general consensus among artists and consumers that songs need to clearly state that AI has been used and should primarily be used on original works, with remixes and covers still in debate. And now for my implications, I believe with this research that the music industry will be able to create better algorithms, as I've outlined which algorithms are best for different uses, so that could save time for the producers and those who are making the AI models. And also, there should be more disclaimers on songs, as both artists and consumers feel that that songs should say that AI has been used. Third thing is that there should be a decrease in accuracy as AI improves over time, as I provided the generative models, and as music continues to come out, the model should improve over time. And fourth is if there should be further attention on the legal aspect, as my literature review said, there's a lot of gray area in this, and that people need to start focusing on this, because as you can see, there's a lot of debate going on in this industry. And lastly, the gap between the race and gender performance of AI should improve over time as more music comes out.
Okay, my question for you is, what were the strategies you used to conduct a review of the literature or gather information from the discipline-specific field? Why did you select these strategies? Which strategies did you consider and reject?
Could you repeat the question?
Sure. What were the strategies you used to conduct a review of the literature or gather information from the discipline-specific field? Why did you select those strategies? And what strategies did you consider and reject?
So when I was going over my literature reviews, I was mainly looking for credible sources, and in that, I was looking for sources that were either from lawyers for that perspective, and for the algorithms, I was mainly looking for those who either have a computer science degree or a PhD in computer science, or someone who has worked in music for their lives and have a degree in music. So based off of that, I was able to narrow down the scope of literature I was looking at, and based off of that, I looked at my gap and saw I looked for which specific papers met the needs I was looking for, and some strategies I rejected were that if it didn't really relate to my gap, or it was like arguing against a bit of my argument what I've already done, I decided to sort of like put it in the back of my mind, save it for later if I need to have a rebuttal or something. But there was plenty of sources that met what I was looking for, and because of that, I just stuck to the source of my original strategy.
Okay, thank you.
My next question is 2 parts. What additional questions emerged during your research? And based upon your recent experience, what advice would you give to other researchers who might choose to investigate those questions?
So when I was creating my survey for the consumers and the artists, when I was trying to figure out how accurate they can be at predicting if a song has AI or not, I was mainly I had a variety of pop culture songs from now and a few artists from like in the 80s. But I realized that there could be some bias in the songs and how well AI has been used. So I tried to mix up the songs a bit, so I had a mixture of singers with different races, and also have a gender disparity between the two, so I have some equal number of males and females. So that basically, that's another question I came up with was, is there a difference in how well AI has been developed and trained based on different races and gender? Could you repeat the second part of your question?
Yes, the second part of the question is, based upon your recent experience, what advice would you give to other researchers who might choose to take those questions further, investigate those questions?
Okay, so I would recommend to them that they try to mix up their samples, so they have a variety from all over the place rather than just sticking to a few artists from, like, let's say like from one genre of music. And so if they were to do research on a variety of artists that come from different backgrounds, then that could change the effectiveness of the AI that they're studying, as well as it could change the way people react to that music.
Which of your sources was the most influential, and in what way is that influence apparent in your final conclusion?
There was a New York Times article that discussed how students are reacting to AI music. So that actually inspired me to create my survey, because in there they would interview students in a school in Colorado, and based off of that I got inspiration from that and decided to create a survey, as a survey would probably reach more students within MBTHS. And the reason why I didn't use that study in my data is because I'm not sure how the background of the students are in that school. While I know MBTHS is filled with a diverse community, and I can have students and teachers answer my survey, so I'll get a more diverse data set.
Any other questions?
I did have one more question. Did you have anybody blind test your skills in identifying music with AI versus music without?
No, I didn't.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the audience? No? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.